Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Dutch Guy's Garage. Today we're going to be doing a front end and a 78 Plymouth Volare. Go over everything, how to take it apart and put it back together. Torsion arm bushings, control arm bushings, ball joints, tie rods, all the little tips and tricks along the way. So, let's get started. Now before we go being on this too heavy, I sprayed it with a significant amount of lube. This lube is Undercoating. We'll go with that. It's probably Spanish. I think my neighbor gave it to me. He's a nice guy. Gives me stuff. It's probably really expensive. We'll soak it, you know, kind of, we'll use a lot. So, you know, just give her all of it. So, it's always important. Give a drip pan underneath here, see what it's standing for. This stuff's apparently purple. Purple in color. It's kind of neat. I think PB Blaster gives a nice orange effect. Really complements the rust. This purple is kind of fancy. So, yeah, I mean, it's a Goodyear Eagle STs. Yeah, they got a lot of cracks in there still. Ooh, you can hear the rust fall. It's a nice effect. So we're just going to beat on it a lot more, significantly amount. Let's give it the whole chow. So yeah, watch me beat the tar out of this thing. And yeah, we'll go fast about it, so you have to watch a fat guy struggle. Fat guys do struggle. Now after that short little spiel, you see I had quite a bit of difficulty getting this tire off. But, yeah, it was, the rotor's welded really nicely to the wheel. So, just undid the caliper bracket, smacked it around, cut the hose. The hose is terrifying.
She's terrifying.
Absolutely terrifying inside. There's no fluid dripping at all, so it just stopped right up inside. So I'm not planning on using any of that, so we'll just get out of the picture. I want to get you guys in here and show you just how bad it is. Back up a little bit. That rotor caliper haven't moved in a long time.
It's been 84 years.
Control arm bushings are all shot. Heavy amount of 80s undercoating. I just love this stuff. They just caked it on with, yeah. We'll just throw it everywhere. And yeah, didn't work at all. But at least we don't gotta do a frame rail on this one. That's a big plus. So we'll get you in here while I start beating the tar out of everything in sight. Alright guys, we got you back in here. We're gonna go on separating the upper control arm and the spindle, and then separating the lower control arm. Also going to go over the torsion arm bushings. I already pulled the cotter pin out of this one. It's a 7/8 socket. Finally got that castle nut off. I always like to hit the sides and try and shock it a little bit instead of going right for the pickle fork. We're not reusing these ball joints, so you could just go right for the pickle fork, but I just try the easiest way first. Time for that other solution. Fire! Bring you guys back in here. Finally got that top upper ball joint hot enough. Popped it out of the spindle. I disconnected the lower tie rod here. That was easy as unbolting it and hitting it once. So now I'm going to go and remove the upper ball joint, which takes a special socket. It's a 1 in 59/64, as goofy as that sounds. This one right here. Got this one off Amazon for like 20 bucks.
Keep it modest. 20 bucks.
But it's what you need to take that top one out. If it comes out. These are threaded. So also when you order it, it comes in the bigger size, so you'll have to, you don't have an adapter, go over to a 3/4 drive, you gotta adapt or buy an adapter too. So I'm actually surprised that came out of there. These old threaded ball joints never seem to want to come out. This one doesn't want to come out of the socket now. You can see it's kind of squarish, but it's not just a standard socket that goes in there. So another specialty tool you gotta have. Normally these threaded ball joints, this crosses over to the 2-wheel drive D-series trucks, the 72 to 93 Dodge pickups. Their upper control arms are also threaded. Some Chrysler did. They're junk. They're absolutely junk. They're like a one-time replacement. In this car, this is most likely the original ball joints at the top. This upper control arm, that's a very coarse thread, and these are not going to have another ball joint screw into them. So I have to get them all the way flat, and then I clean everything up, and I'll lay a couple beads on here. It's really the only solution, because nobody makes these control arms aftermarket. So just lay a couple beads around. Don't weld the whole thing. You don't need to go that extreme. I usually just do like a 1/2 inch to a 3/4 section, 3 times all the way around it. I've done that on 1-ton dualies, held up just fine. I had to do it on the Super Coupe where I did the front end on it last year. So this car will be the same story. So we're gonna throw that out of our way. Oh, we gotta do the top shock first, but we'll get that out of our way, and then take this whole upper portion off. Then we'll go for the lowers, undo the torsion bars, and go from there. All right, now we're ready to take apart our lower one. Too easy. They don't give you much room on this one for a ratchet, so you get a stubby 15/16. Be the way to go. Mine's walked off, so you know, I'm sitting in here with a breaker bar. Trying not to get stuck. That's hot. Still hot. I apologize for not getting you guys any content last week. I got a little busy at work, so didn't quite have the time. That's still really hot. If you do the old touch and feel method, it works, or I don't know. It's off there. We'll go with that. So bang on me some more. This one's gonna be all pickled. Straight for pickle. Maybe. We'll go this way. Alright, something else I like to do is I'll take a torch and I'll heat up the whole ball joint and get a really like cherry red, and then I'll come through and I'll spray it back down with my lube. Okay, and do a shock the metal a little bit. And I'll come back through, and after it's done smoking, because it's going to smoke a lot, come back through and just hit it once with the hammer, maybe twice, maybe 50 times. Pull that back, pull that right off of there. Now, if you're lucky, which I never am, so get this nice and lubricated. Sometimes if you don't have a press, if you're lucky and you hit it nice and straight, which is a trick by itself. This will just show you guys that nothing we do here is staged. That's hot. Now I took the torch and heated up the ball joint, and then I used my old tried and true trick of just right after it gets nice and hot, I know with a hammer and just bam! Bam! Came out like nothing. So we avoided the press because it's a lot to get out. I'm lazy.
Lazy bull.
If you hear something that smells like bacon, just ignore it. Just a ball joint. Smokage. Really nice. It's just a nice effect. We'll throw her out in the snow. So, anyways, we'll move on to our torsion arm bushings, which we're going to take the tension off the torsion arms up. Get those out, remove our shocks, and then we can take our lower control arm off, take our upper control arm off, get them out, and we can start on getting those cleaned up. I might have my buddy sandblast those and powder coat them, just so it's done. I did pick up a new welder so I can weld these. Was having to go all the way over to my dad's shop to weld them. I don't really feel like driving the hour and to go over there and do that. So I did order new brake hoses. As you can see, this one's got their Bluetooth. So we'll go ahead and replace those. I mean, they're pretty, they're stuck solid. As you know, what you've seen from the brakes, there was no breakage. So, and then I did order some new control arm bushings. You can see these ones are got more cracks in them than the Liberty Bell. So we'll go ahead and replace those. I ordered those from PST. They don't make a direct replacement for these, but they actually make the 78 to 79 Dodge Magnum control arm bushings, which are the exact same as these. They make a poly graphite in a black or in a red. I think red's out of stock right now, but it's a blue car, so we probably won't put red in it. So $120 shipped. I'm all for that. That's a good price considering Firmfield does make them also. They make them out of aluminum. It's a one piece. But last I checked, they're like $400, and $400 for some melted down pop cans is just not for this guy. So that's I'm cheap, I guess is what you would call it. So yeah, it's I'm Dutch, so it goes hand in hand. So if you ain't Dutch, you ain't much. All right, now we just got to take our last bolt out. There's 4 of them. Get that out of there. Takes our control arm bushing out. I already removed the shock. It's a gas adjust. Predates me by quite a bit, and it's no good. So we'll move on to loosening our control arm up, or not control arm, our torsion bar up. We'll have to go over to the actual K-frame and loosen the bolts for that. Then we can remove this and take our lower control arm out. All right, we're under the passenger side of the car. You gotta remember these are transverse torsion bars. So when you loosen the nut over here on the passenger side, it actually adjusts the driver's side. A lot of people get mixed up on that. So I already went through the way I do it is I count my threads on the, because this is a big old bolt that goes through the K-frame. I count my threads on the top, write those down, gives me a baseline. We're putting all new bushings in it, so that baseline gives us something to work off of before we take it into the alignment shop, and then we'll have to adjust the suspension from there. All new bushings is going to throw everything off, so we'll loosen this up. I just had some acorns falling on me. Tasty. Take it back over on the other side and take that whole torsion arm off. Now, one thing about these torsion arms is these bolts are splined. So try and loosen them from the top. You're gonna strip the splines out. So takes a 3/4 socket on the bottom. And we'll grab our handy dandy pry bar. Get that out of there. Now we're going to take our lower control arm bolt off. I need an open end wrench. There's a little boxed hole in here. You'll stick it. 3/4 on the other side. And hit the camera. got your lower control arm out. Now I can tell you this nut over here really is all kinds of fun to try and get back in. Like 12 kinds of fun. So yeah, you know, I think I'll just stick her back in the hole for now, and yeah, because you can't get your fingers in there or nothing, so it's a blast. Some nice engineering. Ooh, I got it on the first try. So yeah, that is how you pull a whole front suspension apart on a 1978, well, 1978 Plymouth Volare in this instance, but it goes all the way for 76 to 80 F bodies, which is Plymouth Volares and Dodge Aspens. So yeah, you can see the further looking at that K-frame puck, it's shot.
Look, junk, junk, junk.
So yeah, we'll go through there. I wanted to make this video into a whole one-part thing with replacing everything, but there's so much that goes into it. I didn't want to skimp on any of the details for somebody that's never done anything like this before. That was one of the people commented on something or one of my other videos that I rushed it a little too much. It's something they never did before, and so I wanted to make sure I covered everything, and that way somebody that's never done this before can really, you know, have all the right sockets, have all the right tools before even going after something like this. So yeah, I still got to do the other side. That was a lot of work, but yeah, I appreciate you guys watching, and as always, like and subscribe, and look out for the next video. Thanks.